Kimberly from the Fat Quarter Shop, and I've got some cool stuff to show you today. I want to show you, there's something really popular on Netflix and actually YouTube also, called the KonMari method, and it's Marie Kondo. And so what she does is she goes in and organizes people's homes, and I thought this would be a great time for me to organize myself in my sewing room. So I'm going to start with that. And first I was like, before I can do it, I have to make sure I can really do it. And so one thing that I do is I always have this, this is a file folder, so you can tell that like it's supposed to be for file folders. I got it, of course, at Home Goods, and I think I have 2 of them, and I just went through in all of Lori Holt's fabric that I have, which is like a mix of her collections basically, and I just folded them. So this is all unstarched, and I keep hers kind of separate because I just have a ton of it. But really what her method is really all about vertical storage. And so I used inspiration from her to come up with what I did. So I just kind of folded and just made it fit, and kind of by color. So this is what I started with, because that was my messiest thing. I could never find my fabrics in here. In this bucket, because they're just all over the place. So I thought, well, let me start here, and if I can do that, then I'm going to do the rest of my stuff. And the reason she does it vertical is so when you go, you can just find it immediately. Like, you don't have to dig through stuff. So that's totally her method. I'm just using inspiration. And so let me move this real quick.
Also, everyone's raving about your shirt.
Oh, thank you. So we got the shirts yesterday. They're being printed right now, so they'll be online on next Thursday for sure. Maybe Wednesday, but mostly Thursday. So the front says Kimberly Stitch Squad, and the back has Fat Quarter Shop. So you guys asked for it, and I'm super excited to have that. We're also gonna have Yetis made, and I have no idea if they're gonna sell. It's kind of awkward for me that somebody would want to wear a shirt with my name on it. But I'm really thankful that like you guys like it. And I did try, I know a lot of you wanted t-shirts instead of the baseball tee, and I ordered a bunch of samples and just could not find one that was available in 3X that was not, some of them were like so tight on me. I was just like, this is not, because I don't like to wear anything tight. So let's just start. So I'm gonna kind of show you in my drawers what I have done a little bit. I always keep my fabric starched and unstarched. So I'll go to this drawer. In here, this is what I'm working on for So Colorful, which I'll show you some blocks in a little bit. This is my starched stack. Do I need to pull it out, Lily?
No, you're good.
So this is my starched, and so I just kind of folded them into colors, and then this is my unstarched. So actually this weekend I'm gonna be working on my pink blocks. And so I just have it all in order by color, and then I can see, okay, this background might work, and then I have my background and my big piece just separate, and then I put my little pattern in here. This is my little pattern. So I kind of organize that, and then I'll show you one that I haven't. This drawer is messed up, but this is my hot mess of Harry Potter. So this is my starched, and this is my unstarched, and you can see when you go in there, I can't find anything. It's a mess. I have to dig in here and like find stuff. So this is going to be organized today. But that's kind of my deal, is starched versus unstarched, because that's really what I do. So I'm going to go ahead and start with Lori Holt fabric, the rest of it from this bucket. So with Lori's fabric, I get a yard of all of her collections. So this big bucket on the ground is my 1 yard. And then what I do is when I get that yard, I cut up fat eighths, 2 fat eighths, and then I leave 1 fat eighth in that bucket and then 1 fat eighth over here, and kind of the other stuff. So I already went through, and I did this in about 10 minutes. This is her starched. So you can tell that when I start something, I kind of just cut off what I need instead of starching the whole thing. So this is my starched, and this is my unstarched. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how I come up with my fold. And also these are just paper, I know y'all are going to ask, these are paper what is this, paper box?
Yeah,
it's called
cardboard box.
Yes, like it's not like thick. but it's a paper box. It's called Spritz. It's from Target. And what I tried to do was I wanted to use these baskets because I already had these. I used them in my bathroom, and they're also from Target. But in my drawers, let's see, I can't, two won't fit. And they didn't have another size, so I had to do something different. So I wasn't able to use kind of what I already had, which was what I wanted to do, but that didn't work out for me. So I'm gonna kind of just go over here.
Well, Kia B says they're called photo boxes.
Oh, photo boxes, and I will tell you that I found them in two different sections of the store. One time I found them on the aisle end, and then I found them within the aisle, kind of by the stationery, and I only got 8 because I really like this color, and then I came home and couldn't find it online. So I've got 2 other Targets by me. One's by work and one is kind of on the way to work. So I'm gonna try to go get more. I don't think they'll last forever, you know what I mean? Like if you put fabric in here, it's gonna bend. It's not like the plastic. So I really wanted to go with the plastic. These are 10 by 10, which is also good because a fat quarter is 20 inches wide. So when you fold it, it'll kind of work. So this is just like some stuff that I've already been working with Lori's. And this is Christopher Thompson's Blossom fabric that I want to mix in with hers. And what I'm working on with each of my drawers, I'll show you at the end, is a project. And I'm also going to show you, Lily's going to help me remember, because I'm going to forget. I keep separate my blocks. So I keep like my fabric here. So I'm going to show you all of it. So these are just fat quarters from Fat Quarter Shop. And I literally did this really fast. I just folded, however, and I figured out fat quarters, if I fold it twice and once over, they fit perfectly on that 10-inch. And so for it to work vertically, it's got to have a weight to it. So you can't just put them in like right when you fold them, because if you did, they're all going to fall down. So what I'm going to do is just fold, and then I'll show you how I put it in the box. And I don't make it perfect or anything because I know I'm going to pull this out and starch. But I really, it is one thing that slows me down, that I only starch after, like for example, I am behind on Lori's Sew Along and the Harry Potter Sew Along. I'm behind on both. But I won't starch that block until I pick what I'm going to use. It's just one of those things, and I'll kind of look at the pattern and say, oh, I think I need this much. And so it doesn't take long to do this. I'm hoping that I'm going to show you this, and then I'll probably show you another drawer so you can like time me and see how fast it is. So ask me any other questions.
Well, let's see. Mom Grandma, actually, this is her first live stream, and she's one of our biggest YouTube fans.
Oh, thank you.
So welcome. And she suggested putting the box on its side when you load it too, because of the weight.
Yes, absolutely. That's what I did this morning. Yep, absolutely.
And then Julie, one of our YouTube members, she's asking, when can we purchase the Kimberly Stitch Squad shirts?
Next Thursday. So they're on the Coming Soon page right now, and you can click to be notified when we load them.
And then she also wanted to know if they can see what the Yeti will look like.
It is going to be aqua, 20 ounce, and it is going to have this logo, and it's going to say Fat Quarter Shop at the bottom. And we already have sent in our order. I will say on that, I only ordered, I don't really know, people were gonna really buy those. So,
and then we're getting lots of questions about your starching method, since you mentioned how you separate your fabrics from starch and non-starch. And there is a previous video we did on the YouTube channel that they can go check out for that.
Yes. And so on this mess, these are my fat 8s that I talked about. And this, I'm going to use your method. Thank you. So this is just random. Some of these are, so like I bought a fat quarter bundle of B backgrounds. So I've got a mix of fat quarters in here, fat 8s, and things I've just cut off. So I'm just going to have random sizes. And I do try to keep my colors together, so I'll probably just do my backgrounds and then go backwards. Some of them are already folded, you know, good enough to go in there. Fat 8s fit nicely in there because they're 9 inches. So these are already kind of folded.
Oh, and then people were asking about the quilt blocks behind you on the wall.
So those are, you'll always ask, I think it's red boot design. They are designed by Camille Ross Kelly. They're some of her blocks, and they are hand painted and distressed by a husband and wife team, and I paid for them myself. Like, I'm not getting paid by them. I think it's red boot design. I could be totally wrong. Kate can answer below. We can look it up. So these are actually kind of easy, but okay, this is an example of, I needed to cut, I've used this, and I started with my fat 8 and I just cut a little piece out. And that's kind of an example of what I do. And let's see.
And then Fiona Payne was asking, are those all fat quarters in the file boxes?
The backgrounds are fat quarters, and the other pieces, I started with 1 yard cuts, and I cut off 2 fat 8s. And so I leave 1 fat 8 in a bucket and then pull the other fat 8. I end up always using 2. I just don't want to have a ton of fabric. But fat quarters and fat 8s fit in here nice, but also these are just little pieces. A lot of these are like 10-inch squares or maybe 10 by 15. They're smaller than fat 8s. And I just folded them. They have to be kind of fat, so there's some width, so they're not as like I folded these really small ones like this, shorter compared to this, because that's the only way they would stand up. And I'm going to show you. I'm just going to do a couple. I'm going to finish this box and then kind of show you my Harry Potter fabrics.
And the quilt blocks on the wall are redrainbootshandmade.com. Red Rain Boots Handmade, yes. And I've put the link on YouTube. And
yeah, and sometimes she sells out. Like, she doesn't always have them in stock. I just like them, so I bought them.
And then April Jackson was asking, do you cut all the fabric down then before folding and storing? And what do you do with larger sizes?
Okay, so I'm going to show you larger sizes in a second as soon as I finish this one, because the next one I'm going to do is more of a kit. On Lori's is the only one that I buy a yard of everything, because I use her stuff over and over and over. And then sometimes with Bonnie and Camille, I'll buy half a yard. But mostly most of the time I start with fat quarter bundles, which you could just, will you grab me one from right there? There's some in there. Oh, left. Right there.
Okay.
Left.
Wait, what am I getting?
Right there. Just pull one.
One of these?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I store some fat quarter bundles right over here. And when you get them, they look like this. So this is Christopher Thompson's fabric, and they're already folded. So if you were going to do that, you could just stick them right in. You don't have to do anything unless they're folded the fat quarter way, which is what I was showing. So you just kind of have to.
And I see some people on Instagram are having trouble with connection. I think the video is pausing for them, it looks like. If you guys want to hop on over to YouTube or Facebook, we always have a much better quality stream there because we're using an actual camera versus a phone.
Yeah, and it is sleeting. Was it sleeting when you came, Lily?
Yes, it was.
It's sleeting outside, so.
So the weather doesn't help the phone.
Yeah, the weather.
Do we have the shirts loaded on the site?
Yes.
Okay.
They are on the top of the What's New page. Kate can go ahead and link it down there. Denise did it last night. It might not be searchable yet because we did it late last night. And we need 24 hours for things to search. So, you saw that hot mess of fabric. Now it's not as much of a hot mess. And you can tell I'm just trying to do it really fast because I don't feel like you should spend hours and hours doing this. It doesn't need to be perfect. It just makes it easier when you need to get if I need to get orange fabric, I can find it. And you can tell a lot of the fabric has already been starched. I've already used a lot of it. And then this, for example, is one of her, I think it's bead background. She had a little panel with little squares. And I use these a lot in her blocks. So I go ahead and cut them up and put them by color. And I'll just put that on the, probably on the bottom. So I can go ahead and put this back in, let's see, the drawers. And then we're gonna go through the drawers. So I've got Lori's fabric here. And I always keep in the back my starched and in the front my unstarched, because when I'm doing a project, I do try to pull at least all of the fabrics at least once. So if it's here, I know I might not have used it. If it's here, I've already used it. In this drawer, I participate in a lot of the Fig Tree Block of the Months. So this over here has already been folded. I don't know if you can see it. So this has already been folded. This is starched. And then these are things that I haven't started yet. So they're still in the bag the way that I get them. And my blocks that are done, I put somewhere else. So this one's empty. This is Lori's. Oh no, this is my So Colorful that we showed. And then here's my Harry Potter. And this is a hot mess. So I'm gonna go ahead and do these. This is the starched and the unstarched. I'll show you this, and then I'll show you how I store my blocks.
We got a funny comment from Lupe on Facebook. She says, only a true Kimberly fan would sit and watch her fold fabric.
Yeah, y'all are crazy. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I want to be helpful because a lot of the questions y'all get is, you know, how do you do your sewing room? So this is how I do it. I do try to keep it, I am pretty organized. Like, I like my life organized. So with having 4 kids, I feel like I'm more organized, because when I had my kids, I slowly realized over time that I don't have control over things anymore, right? So when you don't have control over things, you have to control the things you can control. So that made me be a little bit more OCD, because I can control, like my sewing room is my deal. My kids' stuff, that's another issue. So you can see on these, I've starched, but I've only starched exactly what I think I'll use. And I'm just gonna put it, it's just an easy, I guess what I'm trying to show you is it's super easy to do this. It doesn't take a lot of time. And her videos are pretty inspiring. I love to watch people who love what they do. I love what I do. So I love to see when other people get to have a job that they enjoy. And she talks a lot about finding joy in your life. And this kind of stuff brings joy to my life because things are nature. So,
and we have a new YouTube member.
Thank you.
Janice Hopper. Welcome, Janice.
Yay. So, and these are bigger cuts. So, I was going to kind of show this because these are bigger and all different sizes, because this is a kit, and so this is what Kelly Fannin estimated that we would use. So you can tell, it's fat quarter. This is, I just cut out what I think I'm going to use. Because if I starched every piece of fabric all at one time, I would never get anything done, because I would be starching forever.
And let's see, lots of people were asking your cutting table and this furniture piece, where you got it because of the drawers that you're showing.
So I had this custom made about 3 or 4 years ago at a local cabinet shop. I just found a cabinet shop, and I wanted something taller because I'm super tall. And my other house that I used to live in I was in a tiny room, like a 1/6 of this size. And so this was all I could store in. That's it. I had no other space. So I made sure that my ironing board and this had storage. But it's just a local cabinet. They're not even in business anymore. I think the koala furniture is beautiful. Also,
and a few people are wondering, because the shirts you have to ask to be notified, they're asking if they're sold out already.
No, they're not sold out. We're not pre-selling them just because it's just easier. We're gonna have them in a couple of days. They're printing them today. They're estimating they will be done on next Wednesday. So, you know, we got to go pick them up. Got to find a van because we bought so many of them. And they, you know, they're going to be available in small, medium, large, 1X, 2X, and 3X. So there's 6 boxes. And some boxes will not have as many, like we don't sell as many smalls. So they're still going to be in all the same size boxes though, so.
And somebody was asking if we're going to have a sizing chart to help them.
Sure, we can, yeah, I guess we can do that. Denise can do that. We might already have one. This is, okay, so this is a large, and it's got a lot of room. I always wear large. That's the size I wear. I never wear anything else. There's a lot of room, but I have not washed it. And so once I wash it, it will be,
It'll shrink a little.
yeah, it's gonna shrink a little. And then also we are bringing back, I didn't even realize until yesterday, we sold out of Lori Holt's Eat Sleep quilt shirts. So we're also having those reprinted, but those will be a couple weeks.
And Gabriel was asking, are they unisex?
I think they are.
I think they are, yeah, they don't have
I think
a
they
curve.
are. And that was one of the things that I wanted to find a shirt, like the t-shirts I was looking at, because I wanted to find something that was like friendly to men, and they were like so high. I was like, there's no way. And so we just went back to this shirt because it works. A lot of things, I don't know, I couldn't find anything that I liked. So, oops. So I'm just gonna throw that back in there, and I'm pretty much done. Oops, see, that's too big. So I'll just put that on the side. That's my background. And then these other drawers are just hot messes. This was how I did it before. This is how I did it all last year. So this was my color cuts that I'm still working on. It's a Moda Blockheads free pattern. This is my unstarched. This is, yeah, and this is actually, my daughter organized this. I unorganized it. She gets so mad because she'll organize. And this is my starched. So this was my method before, but you can see, like, if I need a pink, I can't really find it. And then I think this is empty.
We got another new member, Teresa.
Thank you.
Welcome, Teresa.
Okay, and now I'm going to show you now my blocks and how I keep my blocks right here. So I'm going to move this light.
Yeah.
She's going to move the cart, and I'm going to move the light.
Teamwork, you got it?
Yeah.
A little heavy.
That's good. Woo. Sorry.
Magic of filmmaking. Guys.
Yes. So this is, I know you guys are going to ask, I bought this a long time ago, and I swear I paid $100 for it. It is by Home Depot, Martha Stewart. But I want another one because I've got all this space here, and I have more blocks that I need to store. But I went and looked, and it was like $400, and I was like, yeah, no thanks. So here, my top drawer, I keep the Lori Holt Sew Along, which is vintage block along here. And I like it because it's flat. And then in this drawer, I keep my Moda Blockheads, keep my pattern, and then I have started my sections. And so like I put middle, bottom. Kevin actually helped me lay out the quilt. And then in here, I've got Harry Potter. And then what I do is sometimes I'll keep a binder of instructions. So I'll show you my 2 blocks. I think I've already shown you guys. This is Harry Potter. And this is a free pattern on Kelly Fannon's blog. Those are 2 of them. And then I'm going to catch up this weekend on all of this. Let's see. In here, this is a fig tree block of the month that I'm participating in. And then down here, I keep my rotating mat because I don't want it to bend or anything, and it's too big over here. So we'll go back over here, and I'll kind of show you. Oops. We'll see if y'all have any questions about the organization, and then I'll just keep going on.
All right, let's reset here.
I also have these drawers if you want to see. Emma actually organized them. She actually comes in here and looks to see if I've messed with them. So she kind of keeps scissors together, glue together. She was like, why do you have 4 of these? And I have 4 of these rotary cutters. I don't know how I have 4 because I only use 1. So who knows? I've got 4 rotary cutters, which is, and then I keep like my needle, like my pins and stuff in here. I've got some Orifloss in here. I have a lot of stuff in here.
Let's see. Okay, yeah, somebody was asking about the Harry Potter sew-along.
Okay, so that is at kellyfannonquilts.com, I believe. It is a free pattern, and so she already has another one out that I'm going to do. It is HP, which is the initials. She posts every Saturday. There are going to be 20 blocks. I believe they're 18 inches, and you don't have to use all of them because I think her setting is for a twin and it only uses a portion of those, but she's got all the details on her site. We have a Bella Solid kit available. You would just need to add the purple background that is now sold out at Fat Quarter Shop. I have asked Moda to reprint, but you need like 4 2/3 yard of that. And some people are using whites, a different purple, or greens. I've seen a lot of greens as the background.
Oh, and just Wanda on YouTube had a suggestion. She said, a friend told me about comic book boards. They are pre-cut cardboard pieces.
Yes.
And you can use them for weight and stability when you're organizing.
Yeah, so you could like wrap your fabric around them. I think that Peach Luttrell, who is in our Facebook group, Kimberly Stitch Squad, I think she does that. And I think she goes, yeah, I don't know, she'll have to comment and tell y'all more, but I know she talked about it one time.
Oh, and I think we had a YouTube member, yep.
Thank
Gianna Gorsuch.
Thank you.
Welcome, Gianna. Okay. And Susan Brennan on Facebook was asking, who makes the ruler organizers on your cutting table?
So these they're made by Riley Blake. These were in a Sew Sampler box a long time ago. We still sell them. They're called Ruler Pals. And they're usually all connected, but obviously I have a hot mess going. But they make smaller and larger. And then this one is by Doohickey Designs, but I think there were some issues with the manufacturing, so I'm not sure if we even have these. But these are called Ruler Roundups. These are called Ruler Pals, and you can get them at the Fat Quarter Shop.
And lots of people want to know, what starch do you use or recommend?
This. So I get this at Costco and at H-E-B. I buy it by I don't want to say case, but you know, there's always like a cardboard, and so actually anytime I'm at the store, I just grab whatever. I have probably 20 bottles in the other room. It's really, they think I'm crazy. Like my husband's always like, put that on the company credit card because it gets expensive. But that's what I use. I don't get paid by them in any way.
It's funny, I actually saw like a mini version of that the other day at Walmart.
Oh, I'll go through that in like a minute.
Yeah.
Like I can use a whole can like a day if I'm like sewing all day. So I've got some other stuff. I'll just start showing. Is that good?
Go for it, yeah.
So I'm behind on Harry Potter. So this was, I believe, last week's. This is the owl. Who is this?
Hedwig.
Hedwig. She knows all about Harry Potter. I'm making this. My son likes Harry Potter. So this is me also being behind on Lori Holt's Vintage Block Along. It's also a free sew along. I'm behind, so I'm going to catch up. She has posted 2 blocks since then, so I'll show you next week. These are my So Colorful blocks. So we have a So Colorful club, which is where you get different colors each month, and it's just going to be a continuous club. And we thought, what a better way than to come up with a pattern to use all of it. So this is the pattern designed by Corey Yoder. I'll put this back in here so I don't lose it. And so I went ahead and made some blocks just with some future months fabrics. This is a Mochi Dot by Moda. This is just to give you an idea of kind of what the blocks look like. But on this one, and I keep these blocks over there also, I just had pulled them out. I've got to do my pinks because I just got all my pink, well not all of them, we're still waiting on one pink from Moda. But this is just kind of an idea of how it's going to look. There are 6 block options in that pattern. So that's kind of what I've been doing. Another thing that's super exciting is we received a sample of the Summer Moon book. This is written by Carrie Nelson of Miss Rosie's Quilt Company. We publish it under our It's So Emma brand. And I'm going to kind of, can you tell me where to go, Lily?
Yes.
Right here? I'm going to kind of flip through it so you can see the beautiful photography that Sarah Price did. I don't want to...
we have 2 new members.
Thank you.
Chris Eckert and Lauren Wilder.
Thank you. So this is the inside of the book.
Oh.
And this is the back. So on this, I just wanted to clarify, we're going to be shipping these. If you pre-ordered the book next Wednesday, they'll be shipped by Wednesday. If you ordered the block of the month in either the vintage or the modern colorway, the book will come with your block 1. So the book is included in your block of the month. Those are now sold out, but just so if you bought the block of the month, don't come buy the book. But it's really awesome. The book is all about scrappiness and fabric placement and doing something that's planned but comes out looking scrappy. So that's new, and I'm really very pleased with the printing of it. I think it's really pretty.
Another new YouTube member.
Yay!
Veronica Davis.
Thank you.
Welcome. And oh, sorry, Gabriel was asking for tiny modernist Halloween cross stitch. Do you recommend black Ada or chalkboard?
Chalkboard. Chalkboard black. 100%. So we also got in this super cute Lori Holt kit, and it comes in this little box. And it has the charm pack and the fabric and the pattern you need to make it, and I'm going to show it to you. Terry made this at work. I'm actually going to make this. And I'm going to make it a slightly different size. And that's one thing that I'm going to work on. I'm going to make it a different size and just show you how you can take something and make it slightly different to fit your table. But it's really awesome.
So cool.
I know, of course, I mean, I'm partial. I love all of Lori's stuff. So I'm actually kind of sad that I haven't made it yet. But I thought the box is really cool. You can use it for like decor. I have my, it's the same size as the Autumn Love one. I can't remember the name of that kit, but they can like stack on top of each other.
Quick question from Instagram. Grape Sky Studios is asking, do you find the Harry Potter directions confusing since there's not a PDF you can print out for the block?
No, I think a lot, okay, this is what I do. I'm going to show you what I do. Most people online who do free blocks do not do a PDF. They just, that's just how they do it. That's how Lori does it. It's just a freebie. So what I do, for example, is this is next week's. This is because I'm ready to go. I copy and paste the picture and the cutting, and then I just copy and paste what I need. I basically copy paste the whole page, edit out what I don't need, and then I just put this on my table. And then I do the same thing. For example, this is what Lori posted last night, and so I went ahead and just posted the steps. You know, I can pretty much figure out the block. So I just post what I need, and then I have this all in a stack because I'm getting caught up this weekend.
And do you get that all in like Microsoft Word? Or
yes, Word. So I put it in Word, and then I make the font smaller, and then just based on, if it's a block I've done before, I'll take out the steps I don't need. If it's Harry Potter and totally original, I have to copy all of it. And I just leave it on my table. And my plan today, because I am super behind, is to, I starched everything yesterday. It took like a long time, like an hour. I'm going to come home and I'm going to use design boards, and I'm going to cut out all of everything I need to make this weekend, put the design boards on top of each other, and then I'm going to wake up super early tomorrow and I'm going to power through because I'm so embarrassed that I have nothing to show you new this week, but I haven't sewn a lick.
And then Lisa Sweets, one of our YouTube members, she says, with the Martha Stewart cart, she's like, you should get a mini bake rack for that spot.
I know, so I have a TV right on top of it, and also this little, my wonderful thread wall is low, so I'm probably gonna just get another one and wait until they have a sale or something, because I like my blocks to lay flat, and I currently just have so many things going on that I'm running out of drawers. But that means I just need to catch up. I have been working on, I will say I have been working on another project that has to be finished. It was supposed to be finished last week, but I'm going to finish that also. I just can't show you because it's upcoming so long.
Okay, and then, Lisa was also saying, could you please show us how to make that binding goodie bag, please?
So we have a video.
There's a video.
It's a video, so just search Goody Goody Binding Bag Vanessa Gertzen. It is her design. She also has some tips on her blog. We have a blog post on it, so totally free instructions on that.
And then lots of people were asking what kind of batting you prefer to use in your quilts.
So I use 80/20. I don't really care that much about brand. If I had to pick, I would pick Happy Cloud, Hobbs, or Quilter's Dream. Quilter's Dream is more the elite. 80/20 is all I use. I mean, I've used wool. I've used all the different ones. I just prefer 80/20 because it gets pretty hot here, and it's enough oomph without a lot. It doesn't, you don't sweat. So.
And then the other thing was, I think we had some like Valentine's Day blog posts go up.
Yeah, so this is all kind of the rest. So we've got some Valentine's posts. This is using the, I'll come closer, the Making It Cute little templates by Barb and Mary.
Heart's Delight.
Heart's Delight. But the template is called Making It Cute. And so this is a free blog post. And we also have this. Are some little mug rugs that we did, free tutorial that Sarah Price designed. So you can look this up, and it's really cute how she can they see? So like there's two hearts and then the little heart connected when she did the quilting, so that's super cute. So those are free on our blog, and I wanted to let everybody know that this is back in stock. We ordered, let's say 20% of what I ordered came in, so hopefully that'll last. I wanted to also talk about my little patchwork pinwheels. So we have a video on this from a couple weeks ago, and I'm keeping them in this little cart that I got. Of course, I got it at Home Goods, and I have 70. And what I'm doing is I'm keeping track as I put them in how many I have, so that at the end of the year I can say, okay, I have this many. I don't have to sit and count. And also, as I've been making the Lori Holt blocks, when I'm done, my little scraps, I'm getting them ready to go, and this is what I have left. Ooh, that's not supposed to be in there to do. So I'm kind of keeping them in this little thing. But yeah, it's definitely, and I'll just do these probably this weekend. But I'm hoping to be at like 120 in like a week, because I'm gonna power through this weekend. So that's also, and then I wanted to give a huge thank you, I mean, from the bottom of my heart, from me and Kevin. We are at like 97 or 9,600, and I'm like so excited that we've made that money for Make-A-Wish. We have, obviously the Threadology Quilts Along started in February. Every 2 weeks, like February 1st, February 15th, March 1st, March 15th through June, free pattern on our blog. To make a quilt, but we wanted to keep the money coming in. So this was the first free pattern we got, and this goes along, this is on our blog, and we did this for reaching a certain milestone of raising money. And we kind of raised the money a little bit faster than we could keep up with. This is our second quilt. So what, this is our second free pattern, and what you would do is put in a block of your choice. And this is available on our blog right now, because this was for $7,500. And then and we don't have them made up because we raised more money. We raised money faster than we could keep up. So thank you so much. This is our third setting, and this will be up once we get to 10,000. And again, it just uses 6-inch and 12-inch blocks. And then we will have another one at when we reach 20,000. So yeah,
your big stretch goal.
Yes, that's our like big goal.
Okay. Let's see, we got a few questions coming in here. When is the next Threadology video posting? 15th.
February 15th.
Yeah, it goes along with the blog.
So it's like the 1st and the 15th. Yep. 1st and 15th.
Every month. And then, Kia V was suggesting there's an IKEA flat drawer cabinet.
Okay.
That is similar to what people were saying baking rack wise, and it's called the Alex. This
Okay.
I found out in the comments.
Yes, my daughter has, that's the one that's taller, right? I think it's taller. Okay, that one, I'm going to tell you all about Alex. My daughter has Alex. She puts all her makeup in it, and it's kind of, it's like in between her bedroom and her bathroom, and anyway, I'm going to tell you about Alex because I had to go to the store to try to get it, and they didn't have it. And then I get lost in the store, and then they didn't have it online, so that one will sell out, and it's because people on makeup YouTube videos promote it. So I know all about Alex.
That makes sense.
Yes, and it would work. It's, yeah.
Okay. And Pam Nash wanted to know how often you change the blade on your rotary cutter.
Oh my goodness, I need to change it now. I would say every 2 weeks or a month. My kids have they've had a lot of like projects due, and so Kevin will just come in here and start using it, and I'm like, that's my paper! So I've had to change it a little bit more, but anytime that I cut and I get a little, like where you take your fabric and you're like, ooh, it didn't cut all the way, I'll change it right then. That's how I know to change it. I have been using the Endurance blades, which are more expensive, and they have lasted longer. I actually, when they came out with those, was like, oh, I don't know, like, I don't know if that's really gonna work, but it does work, I will say. They are much more expensive though.
And then Tammy Miller was saying, do you pretty much sew in your sewing room exclusively, or are you all over like me on the dining room table, etc.?
No, I sew in here, but I have like behind my sewing, there's like a little area, and then in the front of my room, there's an area, and my kids come in here. So like when I wake up, when I come in here, they're already in here. They'll just be chilling because they know I'm gonna come in here. So I only sew in here. I do binding in the living room, that kind of thing. I try to sew a lot like during work hours so that at night, I don't have to sew so much. But I'm so behind right now. I haven't had a day off from work in a while, so I'm gonna catch up this weekend. I don't like to be behind. I'm sure y'all can tell from my personality. So I actually have a list of like all the things, and so after this live stream I'm gonna clean up, and then I'm gonna really try to just power through, because on Sunday I don't want to be sewing all day, but I'm gonna power through and be totally caught up.
And 2 more YouTube members who shout out that joined, Veronica Davis and Sharon W. Welcome to the group. We are gonna have a coupon for them next week, right?
Yeah, we're gonna have a coupon for you guys next week. I haven't decided what the coupon is, so if y'all wanna like put some in the community tab, some suggestions. I don't like to repeat coupons. So I was like, well, we already did that. I mean, I want it to be good, so like we already did a Notion coupon. We already did a bundle coupon, like what are y'all looking for to buy? And then we're gonna come up with something today.
And let's see, Cheryl was asking, are those pinwheels paper pieced?
So I use Triangles on a Roll H100, which is my favorite brand, and they're 1-inch finished, but of course you can do any size. And you'll see I cut them where it's more of an X because it's easier to sew. But you'll see like on this one, I didn't have enough scrap, so I kind of piecemealed it. So I'm kind of, if I only have a little bit of a scrap, I'm trying to make it work. And I'm cutting 4 squares, and that gives me 2 pinwheels from the same color. So this is from 4 squares you get this.
And Teresa was asking, did you get more of those triangles on a roll because you were sold out?
Yes.
And then Lisa Switz, she says, off topic, but you have to watch the documentary on serial killer Israel Keys. He is crazy. Did I say that right? Yeah,
Israel Keys. Yeah. Which one is it? Is it on Netflix? You'll have to give me more info. I've listened to a ton of podcasts on him, but I have not. I feel like Netflix is like not on point right now because I have watched every single documentary there is, even political ones, and I'm so not like into that at all in any way. I have watched everything. There's like not much coming out. I watched there was a good AMA last night on Reddit from the guy who did the video, the Murder Mountain, and it was pretty interesting. He addressed some of the things that, I'm kind of a Reddit junkie, but he addressed some of the things that weren't talked about in the film. Like if you saw some of the people, you could tell they were probably on meth, just by teeth, face. And so he kind of addressed that and talked about the fact that he didn't bring that into the documentary because the documentary was really about marijuana. Anyway, there I go. But yeah, I need some good documentaries. I'm all out. I've been watching Lost Tubes because I got nothing else to watch. But I love to watch documentaries, and I love when you guys send recommendations. I still haven't watched, Peach Luttrell sent me one to watch, and I still haven't watched that one, but it's not on Netflix, so I got to figure out how to get it.
Lots of people, just for the member stuff, they're saying they wouldn't be hurt if you gave another bundle coupon.
Bundle coupon, okay.
And then, let's see, Debbie Benjamin was asking, how do you come up with ideas for the subscription boxes?
Oh my goodness, we're going to do a video on that. I have basically okay, I guess I'll give you this. We try to come up with, okay, in our world, like I don't know what kind of world, but the world that we're in, some of the fabric companies will label group. They'll say this group is an A group, a B group, or a C group. And that means like A group will sell great, B will sell medium, C will be like sleeper. So that's how some of the companies call it. So we always, whatever goes in the box has to be an A group. We want it to represent all genres. We want to mix it up so you're getting something different. You don't want to have two pinks back to back, or I just picked a random color because I obviously love pink. So anytime a fabric sales rep comes, Cody, who does our box, she hates when I say her name, so I'm gonna have to come up with a different name for her, but because she doesn't like it. So hi Cody, sorry. She sits in on our meetings, and we make a list. We have a spreadsheet. It is like the most OCD spreadsheet, and we have options. And we kind of will meet after all the sales reps come, and we're like, okay, if we pick this, would this work, or should we go this way? So basically we start with the fabric, and then we go with the notions after. Because we want them to sometimes fit. I mean, sometimes they can fit and sometimes they can't. So it all depends on delivery, reliability of the company. Some companies don't offer pre-cuts, and we cannot cut those. There's just no way, because if the fabric came late, there's no way. So it's based on sales too, what sells best at Fat Quarter Shop. What's selling best is what's going in that box. And everything trends. I mean, you guys probably don't see that, but things trend. Some companies are like, woo, and they keep going. And there's a lot of companies that do a little bit of this. And when they're on a downtrend, then we kind of don't put them in the box. Because we want it to appeal to what's selling to you guys, and you're our customer, so that's how we do it. We have ideas for some other stuff in the future. But yeah.
And then Lauren Wilder was asking, do you have a kit for the Cadence Court pattern with foundation by Sassafras?
No, Cadence Court. Okay, so that was a block of the month. We might have some leftovers, so why don't you just email me, Kimberly at fatquartershop.com, and I will look up and see if we have, because when we do a block of the month, if people don't pay, we will have leftovers, but I don't know if we have any. We might not.
Yeah, because what comes up on the website is just the
book.
Pattern.
Yeah, and we had done it as a block of the month. The block of the month sold out, but if we have some room knits, we might not even have the whole thing, but we might have, some of the blocks. So if you just email me, I can look that up a little bit later today.
Alright, and then, is there a reason you don't use a wool ironing mat?
I don't like them. I don't like them at all. I got them when they first came out. They are very popular. I don't like them at all. I don't like the smell. I use a ton of starch, and I use a ton of steam. I actually use distilled water. I know you're not supposed to. All of you are going to tell me I'm not supposed to. I know I'm not supposed to, but I do. And I don't like the smell. It smells like a goat, and I don't like it. What I do is, it's actually not on here now. I have a towel. So I either will have a towel down, it's just a white towel. I'll either have a white towel down, or I use leftover fabrics, or I keep a bolt of Bella Color 200, and I'll just use it and put it down. I'll just use something underneath. I don't like the wool mats. They sell terrific. Okay, this is one thing though. I can smell anything. if somebody is outside smoking right now, I would smell it. Like, I have a very keen sense of smell.
It's true.
I can smell, I mean, like, and smells kind of trigger a little bit. Like, if I can smell, like, perfume. I can smell anything. And my husband, it drives my husband, it is one thing that I know truly gets on his nerves, because he's like, that is not, like, I'll be outside, I'm like, oh my gosh, there's a skunk, or there's a fire, or there's something, and he's like, you're crazy. And I'm always right, it drives him crazy. So I think it's the smell. And I really, when I starch, that gives me accurate piecing. When I use my water, it gives me accurate piecing. I'm also a creature of habit, but I will say, if you get on the Kimberly Stitch Squad and ask people, a majority of the people like them. So I'm in the minority on this.
Also, just a few comments on that. A few people thought it was funny that you said goats. The wool comes from sheep.
Well, whatever, sheeps. I'm not good.
Like a farm animal.
Yeah, it's a farm animal. I actually grew up in the country, but yeah, we didn't really have animals. But yeah, whatever, it stinks.
Yeah, and yeah, Teresa was saying she loves her wool mat, but she doesn't use steam.
Yeah, because if you use steam, it's gonna pull that. It's gonna pull it. It's like if you were crocheting or knitting with wool. Like, it's, you smell it. It's itch. I don't know.
And then,
but I mean, I'm in the minority. People love them. It's just not for me. And I'll never come on here and tell you. I'm never gonna come on here and badmouth a brand. But I'm never gonna lie and say I use a product when I don't, ever.
And then Lisa Sweets was replying to you about her documentary, or
oh yes.
She said it's Dark Minds and it's an hour and 30 minutes.
Oh, okay, I'll watch it today. Yes.
Let's see. Yeah, she says she loves Dark Minds. And a few people didn't know that distilled water was bad for your iron.
I don't know. I've just gotten a lot of. One time I showed it on the live stream and I got a lot of emails and people were like, "You're not supposed to use it." I don't know why. They just said you're not supposed to, but I do. I feel like when I use it, my iron won't spit out brown stuff.
And we're getting lots of questions that you've covered in other
videos.
So feel free to go back through our live streams. We've covered a lot in the past. We've been live streaming for just over a year, so we've covered a lot. But okay, I'm going to take a couple more questions here. A few people are asking when is Little Snippets coming in?
It was already supposed to be here. So it was a January release. It is now February 7th. I think in a week or two. I think there's just been some delays. All of the companies are kind of behind, and I think there's a backlog in customs and clearing items through customs. So, but it should be any day. It has not shipped yet, though. I look at every invoice that we get, and it hasn't shipped yet.
And okay, oh, some people are saying that it's just ironing companies recommend distilled water. And what is your favorite sewing chair?
Okay, so my chair, I'll bring it over here because it's a mess over here. Okay, we went through this. I can't even remember what brand it was, but it's discontinued. But I use a fabric chair. It is old. I have two of them. One I use for working and one I use, but it is, it's got stuff all stuck to it that won't come off. It was I bought it at So Much More in Austin. I like fabric, and the main thing that I look for in a chair, I'm tall, is height. Because when I had all my stuff made, I had it made for taller because I don't want to, and I have a back issue, so I'm very careful about that. But I just made sure it was taller, but it's discontinued. It was either Horn or Koala, one of the two. But that's what I use. It's not available anymore, but I love it. And I like a lighter color. You know, you could get it, a lot of people will just get an office chair. I never did that because office chairs are mostly black, and I didn't want black.
Also another recommendation, Netflix Bloodline is great too.
Okay,
I haven't seen it.
Bloodline, and then she's gonna help me remember the other two because I'm gonna forget. Okay, so awesome. So next week, I'm going to have Floss Tube on next Wednesday. And for all of you that watched, y'all were 100% correct. My M and N and O were in the wrong spot. So sorry. I'm going to fix it before next week. And then next Friday, we're going to be doing a video on just like more free stuff online. And I'm going to maybe give you a sneak peek of an upcoming sew along. And I'm going to have more blogs to show you for inspiration. And I will see you next week. Have a great weekend, everybody. And thanks for watching.